Hello, everybody, and welcome to Beyond the Quadrant, Redefining the Future of Storage Platforms. Today's webinar is sponsored by Pure Storage and produced by Actual Tech Media. My name is Scott Becker. I'm from Actual Tech, and I'm excited to be your moderator for this special event. Now, before we get to today's great session, we do have a few housekeeping items that are going to help you get the most out of it. First off, we want this to be an informative event for you, so we encourage any questions in the questions box in your webinar control panel. So while we won't do a dedicated Q&A session at the end of this one, we do have team members in the chat who are ready to answer your questions during this live event. That Q&A panel is also the place to let us know about any technical issues that you might be experiencing. A browser refresh will fix most audio, video, or slide advancement issues, but if that doesn't work, just let us know there in the Q&A and we'll provide further technical assistance. Now, second, in the handout section of your webinar control panel, you'll find that we're offering several resources. I'd especially like to call your attention to two PDFs in there, one about storage for the modern enterprise, the other is a Pure Storage case study, and then there's also a link to find out more about Pure Storage. So I encourage you to access those resources now and feel free to share them with your colleagues. Now, third, at the end of this webinar event, we'll be awarding a $250 Amazon gift card to one lucky registrant. Of course, you must be in attendance during the live event to qualify for the prize. Official terms and conditions of today's prize drawing can be found in the handout section. Just scroll down to the bottom there and you'll find the link with the details. Okay, with that housekeeping out of the way, let's get into today's fantastic session. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to our panel. Just a rock star panel today. We've got Stephanie Richardson, who's Vice President of Product Marketing for Pure Storage. She's going to act as your MC for the event. Then we have Michael Worthy, who's Product Marketing Director for Platform at Pure. We have Biswajit Mishra, who's Product Marketing Director for FlashBlade at Pure. Then we have Dean Chila, who's Principal Architect and Distinguished Technologist at Insight. So just a great lineup. Really good stuff coming for you. I'm going to turn things over to Stephanie to get us started.
Thank you all for joining us today. All right, we're going to kick off today by talking about the challenges shaping IT decisions today. From the rising opportunities in AI to the growing demand for a services-first infrastructure, IT is really needing to make a variety of different changes to their entire infrastructure, including rethinking their storage and what they need for long-term success. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's jump right in. All right, Michael, we're going to start with you. Why can't existing storage systems stretch to support these new challenges that customers are facing?
Well, Stephanie, I think data storage architecture has been static for years. Like while SANs and file systems have improved, they've really remained based on vertical stacks. And we've become accustomed to manage these multiple stacks, sort of ignoring the reality that we support multiple architectures and multiple systems now with various software platforms. And we get comfortable with the discomfort of managing all these inconsistencies. Now, and this approach also forces us to continually rebuy when we update or when we need to migrate data. And that results in significant planned and impact and unplanned downtime. It also requires a ton of personnel to manage all these systems and all the consistent upgrades that we need to do. And now we're asking storage design for traditional physical and virtualized worlds, and also the traditional applications they support to adapt to a new, highly dynamic, self-service, AI-first future. I really just don't think the current systems can support it.
That's really interesting. I like how you said that. We don't want to get comfortable being uncomfortable. We don't need to do that, right? Okay, so what do IT teams and what do they need to start thinking about, and what changes do they need to make to their systems to really be ready for the future with AI and with modern apps and everything else that's coming at us?
Yeah, I mean, we have to be comfortable in involving our thinking and adopt a platform that supports us rather than compromising due to inadequate solutions. I think that, as I said before, that norm, that getting comfortable with discomfort, we have to move away from that norm of dealing with inefficiency and the complex management of multiple systems is just unsustainable. And I was talking to a customer the other day, and they said they go just from phase to phase of data migration as they have to support these different upgrade cycles and this multi-planning for the multiple systems they support, even just putting simple changes in it. And now we're asking these inflexible systems to adapt to, this incredible dynamic future. And as such, I think most of us I feel trapped in this sort of legacy cycle right now and are getting worried about the future that AI is asking us to sort of look at, or the services first is asking us to look at. The idea of how do I plan for the unknown? I mean, the cloud has spoiled us, right? And all storage really everywhere should be as simple and flexible as that cloud, regardless of location. I mean, storage needs to be seamlessly integrated and connected without any overhead, and that can dynamically adjust intelligently for any workload request and scale infinitely as needed, allowing users and applications to access that storage instantly without the days, weeks, and even months that many of our customers face today when they're using those traditional ticket-based manual systems. And these systems should be smart enough to continually update and upgrade with zero impact or downtime. And I think that's sort of the key there. It's great that I can buy a modern system, but that modern system's not going to stay modern for long. We need to ensure that we have comfortableness in that system, that it's future-proof, that it's always ready for what's around the corner, even if I don't know what's around the corner.
So that sounds fabulous, right? You talk about simplicity and flexibility like the cloud. You talked about agility. You talked about no downtime and easy upgrades. I mean, that sounds ideal. Talk about moving comfortable. That really sounds like where we need to go. But how do you do that, right? So how should IT teams be thinking about this and applying some of these wonderful principles that you talked about to their storage infrastructure?
Well, the first thing we need to admit is there's a problem, right? That traditional legacy storage solutions won't cut it. Like, we've spent the last 15 years flexing and bending IT infrastructure. When we moved from the traditional one app per server model many, many years ago, when virtualization swept across the industry. And that last 15 years, we've done an incredible job flexing those systems as we moved from virtualization, as we moved into private cloud, as we moved into public cloud and hybrid systems, and new workloads that created sort of multi-architecture. But now, in this new, unique world of dynamic systems that need to adapt instantly, you can't use that same thinking to solve that new problem. You can't have a multi-architecture, multi-systems, platform with multiple management layers. You need a single unified system that meets all your storage needs on a single platform, both traditional, supporting, the applications you use today to make your business run, your virtualized applications, your database applications, your sales applications, and also new modern applications as you're aggressively adopting container, based solutions, Kubernetes solutions, as you're starting to look for different ways to think about, virtualized applications other than utilizing a traditional virtualized system. You need a system that delivers data any way you want, even as a service. So our users or applications or even, APIs can actually go and access data instantly in seconds. And also to be, honestly, a one-time purchase. Again, going back to what I said before, it's great that you can go out and buy, like the idea of buying a car. Like, when I buy a car, it's always fresh, it's always modern, it's always new. A year or 2 or 3 years down, that car is not so modern, it's not so new, and I get jealous about all the other things. And, and then what do I have to do? I have to sell the car and buy a new car. We have to move away from that way of thinking. We got to say goodbye to this constant rebuys and the disruptive upgrades and data migrations that it supports.
That's super interesting. So, Bish, we're going to go over to you for a second. So, Michael just painted this very, very kind of interesting and compelling vision of how we do this moving forward. And it really starts with this concept of a unified storage platform. So, why are unified platforms the way forward?
Thanks, Jeff. That's actually the very important question. The need for unified platform, we hear that across a variety of scenarios, and we see that trend really, the puck moving in that direction for a while right now. And recently, Gartner made a massive move in the Magic Quadrants for primary storage, as well as for the distributed file and object storage, where they evolved both of these Magic Quadrants to become more platform focused. And with that change in name, it goes way deeper than just the minor name change. It's about the fundamentally different way that Gartner is thinking about storage, which is just a reflection of why customers need something like a unified platform. Because the future of storage isn't just limited to performance and scalability, and those are important things, but it goes way beyond that for a modern business. It's about delivering a unified data experience across any environment. We talked about like the cloud-like experience, or it's delivering that same experience on the cloud or on-prem. And this data experience is what the true promise of a platform is. And when we talk about a unified platform, we are talking about a consistent operating environment. We are talking about a single control plane. We are talking about it being SLA driven and managed and delivering storage as a service. When you look at that, platform is the natural evolution of storage, and it's about making storage more automated, easier to manage, improving the developer's experience, and making the storage seamless for the business, and in turn, pushing the boundaries of utility-based, on-demand consumption of storage. And if we think about it that way, unified platform are really the only way forward for both organization and storage industry as a whole.
Thank you so much. That's really helpful. You know, this shift that Gartner has made in the MQ, that really is a significant transition for the industry. They are really kind of showing the shift and showing where organization and enterprises worldwide are really starting to go. So I think it's a really important moment for the industry. So while we're talking about Gartner and this shift to primary to platform with the primary storage Magic Quadrant, let's talk about how Pure stacks up. So Bish, a bit more about, you know, we know that Gartner looks at vision and execution, in their Magic Quadrant. So what do they have to say about Pure in the 2024 Magic Quadrant?
Yeah, that's actually a really exciting news. And Gartner has recently released both the 2024 Magic Quadrant for primary storage platform, as well as the file and object storage platform Magic Quadrant. And I'm really excited to share that Pure Storage has been recognized as a leader in both of these categories. In the 2024 Magic Quadrant for primary storage platform, Pure continues to be positioned as the highest in the ability to execute and furthest in its completeness of vision. And we have done it for a 5th consecutive year. And with this recognition, this marks our 11th consecutive year as a leader in this category, which includes 5 years as a leader in the Magic Quadrant for solid state arrays and 6 years in the Magic Quadrant for primary storage platforms. In addition, in the Magic Quadrant for file and object storage platform, Pure Storage was recognized as a leader for a 4th consecutive year. And what this really highlights is Pure continues to set the standards when it comes to delivering on the commitment of driving storage innovation building storage solutions that set the benchmark in the industry.
That's amazing. Michael, let's go back to you for a second. So Bish just talked to us about how Gartner has recognized the Pure platform as really really a leader across all vectors as we start to make this transition to unified storage platforms. So let's spend a little bit more time understanding what storage platform is different and what makes it stand out from the rest. So what can you tell us there?
Yeah, I mean, this is my favorite topic, right? Because look, over a decade ago, we recognized the need for transformative storage that could grow, flex, and change with your business. Free from this multi-layer traditional approach, this multi-storage architecture. And we believe our unique approach offers the industry's first consistent as a service platform to meet all of our customers' storage needs everywhere. I mean, we're different, and we're proud that we're different in the way that we approach storage, in the way that we built our hardware, in the way that we build our controllers, the way that we're software first in moving many of the traditional hardware-based systems into software to create a lot more flexibility. And this is not just another standard industry marketing diagram of how you hook up disparate products and hook them together, as many of the diagrams you see today in the industry. We boast a ton of core capabilities that we believe sets us apart in the industry. And these capabilities drive our entire DNA. They drive our engineering with key promises in how do we better the unification and consistency and the as-a-service experience of the platform. They drive our support in creating great support for our partners and customers to ensure they get every single piece of juice out of the storage lemon. And they drive all the services associated with that. Our promise is to deliver a very unique, simple, but powerful enterprise storage as a service solution that makes deployment easy, makes management easy, and makes scalability of data storage super easy, no matter where that data resides. And I think that's the super important thing. One of the big things that our customers are facing today is just this separation of data everywhere. And look, that's not going to be solved. I'm going to choose the best place for my data based on capacity, based on performance, based on price. But I shouldn't have to deal with the multiple different systems that causes. The experience of managing a file, a block, and an object architecture on premises, that's 3 different systems already. And then all of a sudden I add cloud on top of that, maybe multiple cloud, 2 or 3 different clouds. Now I've got 6 different systems and 6 different management paradigms. What happens if I need to make a change? I mean, that is scary as everything. Our goal is to unify the data together, no matter where that data lives. And I feel that our platform approach, the way that we fundamentally changed our architecture from the norm, the way that we focus on software and that flexibility and seamless experience across on-premises, hybrid, and the cloud, uniquely provides a 100% unified storage solution. It enables our customers to consolidate all their data storage onto a single, easy-to-use platform. Yes, data can still be in the cloud, and data can still be on premises, and data can still be in multiple systems on premises. Maybe I've got it in my primary environment, secondary environment, a branch environment. But to the way that I access that storage, it's a unified single source of data. And that's incredible, especially for systems like AI, who require this incredible fast access to that. It doesn't want to deal with 10, 15 different systems. It wants to deal with a single source of truth. And, that's when you build a unified data system, I got to have promises to my customer. And those promises are to ensure 0 downtime. So to minimize any business risk, we'll take care of the data and we'll unify that data, ensure there is 0 planned downtime, giving you the ultimate reliability. The second thing is, again, going back to the thing I said before, like I don't want to have to rebuy this when a new technology comes out, or when a new workload that I need to be able to support, or a new future project I need to support. I want future proof. I never want to rebuy again. I want to invest once and have that system update with me and ahead of me. So guaranteeing my platform will evolve without me having to ever do another data migration again. And ultimately, when people promise these things, it usually comes with a caveat. Oh, yeah, we can promise that, but it's going to create a ton of horsepower, and you're going to have to, put multiple systems in and multiple racks, and you're going to have to build your own nuclear power plant just to keep this system running. And that's not our promise. Our promise is to create the best cost efficiency and sustainability of any storage solution on the market, reducing the physical footprint while increasing its scalability and density, lowering the energy consumption to the minimist, the way that we can, to ensure that you can squeeze as much energy efficiency out of your power and out of your cooling when you're running those systems on premises. And ultimately, when you unify those systems together, when you create a single source of truth, when you have a multi-system architecture that supports all these protocols natively, when you have a single control plane that enables global data management and policies, you save so many workforce hours. Instead of having all these people just managing these systems and keeping these systems alive, these systems manage themselves. They intelligently automate. They intelligently support and balance your whole environment. Imagine that. Imagine myself as a storage admin now taking all those hours that I used to spend just on manual tasks and keeping this myriad of systems alive, and then allowing me to take that and reinvest back that effort, knowledge, and my talent back into strategic initiatives. I mean, that's the ultimate goal of the platform.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, so to quickly recap, to make sure I've got it all, one platform, all your workloads across on-prem, in the cloud, hosted environments, no downtime, right? So no business disruption. Future-proof. So you're always, no complex rebuys, and you're always getting the latest and greatest all the time. And then cost efficient. Michael, you gave so many reasons why it's more efficient across the physical footprint, across kind of operating just time and hours and energy from the team, across energy consumption. So that's just a really, really interesting story as you start to think about the power that this unified platform can have within your organization. Okay, so Dean, you're up next. So we've talked a little bit about, Bish was telling us about the trends and the shifts that Gartner is seeing in the market and the changes that they're making based on what they're hearing from customers. You're talking to customers every single day. So what are you hearing, and how are these trends really impacting how customers are thinking about their storage infrastructure?
Yeah, Stephanie, for our customers, it's like the entire landscape is shifting under their feet right now, right? There's a lot going on. A lot of our customers are feeling really intense pressure to not just modernize their infrastructure, but they need to do that while keeping up with demand for new applications and new workloads. So when we have Pure Storage in the mix, kind of going back to what Michael was describing, it's like it's one less thing to worry about. Pure really is a commitment to innovation, and what that gives us is a secure and reliable and flexible data platform that helps free up our customers to innovate in other areas. I've been working with Pure for a long time. When they were, back when they were leaders in the all-flash market, arguably defined the all-flash market. And I have customers now that have gone through 2, 3, 4, even 5 upgrade cycles non-disruptively. So think about that. There's a device on your network that securely holds your data that hasn't changed in over 10 years in some cases, but the workloads that are running on it are completely different. The way that the customers are interfacing with it are completely different. So just the Pure's commitment to innovation and to the customer, really, like I said, it's one less thing to worry about.
That's awesome. You mentioned, you hit on some of the points that Michael was talking about, right? Around just kind of that future proofing and that technology really getting better with you. How do you and the folks at Insight see really that kind of just the concept of the shift from just thinking about arrays to thinking about a storage platform really being critical to helping customers tackle what's coming next for them?
Yeah, a lot of it is just the shift in market and workloads that we have to think about when we're defining infrastructure for our customers. So think about what, 5 years ago, nobody thought about having fast file and object on one platform. You're kind of cut their teeth on being a go-to solution for block workloads, but the market keeps on shifting and the underlying technology keeps on shifting. So Pure's really, staying at the front of the market, being leaders in the market. So that's, it makes it that much easier when we're trying to work with our customers' infrastructure.
Awesome, thank you, Dean. Bish, we're going to go back to you. You told us earlier on how Gartner was making these changes and seeing these shifts in the market. Dean just talked about how the customers' kind of needs and asks are changing. This is a big transformation for how people think about. So how is Pure Storage leading this transformational change?
I mean, this is a huge change. Imagine, and I'm sure there may be someone listening into our conversation and going back and paying attention to what the challenges Michael was initially talking about, the legacy challenges. It's like, but that's the way it has been with the storage industry for decades. We don't know any different. And then you go back to all of the platform capabilities that you just recapped. It's like, oh, that sounds good. But is that really the truth? Is that really happening today? And in order to answer that question, yes, it's a transformational change for both our customers, the storage industries, and the businesses that are deploying enterprise storage today. But let's look at a real world customer success story as a way of illustrating how Pure Storage has helped customers in this journey. And, just to make sure we are talking about the thing which is probably prevalent everywhere, let's talk about how the Pure Storage platform is helping you achieve breakthroughs in AI and innovation. And we'll talk about a really exciting customer called MediaZen. And they are basically leaders in voice recognition across industries like healthcare, automotive, and education. To put it simply, they make it easier for humans to talk to machines. And as a byproduct of doing that, they make it a safer driving experience, improve customer care. And when they were looking to transform their business by revamping their R&D platform, they turned to Pure Storage to deliver cutting-edge AI research capacity. And one of the things they were simply able to achieve with this commitment to the platform's approach with Pure Storage is incredible improvements in their AI modeling efficiency. And what that really translates into is some of their modeling tasks, which previously took up to a year or more, they could achieve that in about 2 weeks. To put that into perspective, that's about 96% reduction in time. The customer, I remember speaking to them and they're mentioning that, hey, we were able to bring a net new voice recognition model to market in about 4 weeks. That wasn't even a stretch goal. That was impossible, even months before we made the change in our infrastructure. And the reason MediaZen was able to achieve this success goes back to a lot of the capabilities that we just discussed about the platform. It's about the unified architecture, which enabled them to scale their GPU clusters seamlessly and process in huge volumes of data. The flexible subscription model, which was tailored to their business needs so that they could achieve in the most cost-effective way to take their AI strategy to the next level. And Pure Storage platform was a partner for them in achieving all of this goal. And this is just one example of how Pure Storage has helped an organization tackle a modern workload challenge while really enabling innovation and transformation. And we could probably spend hours talking about the hundreds of customers across a variety of use cases. Their specific challenge could be slightly different, but it's the same set of benefit that really can transform their own business and how they look at storage. And Pure Storage has been a tremendous partner in delivering these goals, and that's all due to the power of the Pure platform.
Thank you so much, Bish. It's so helpful to hear the platform really come to life through the scenario of the customer. And congratulations to MediaZen for such great results. So thank you. All right, we are coming up on audience question time. So Bish, Michael, Dean, any final thoughts before we open it up?
Yeah, I think the MediaZen example is a great one. I mean, with the immense budgets being allocated to AI right now, I mean, in some studies, it's showing over 50 to 60% of current IT budget is being dedicated towards AI, which is huge, right? That this investment, taking care of this investment is crucial. I mean, any AI solution that our customers choose needs optionality and agility, and they are big words, because they need those to have the necessities to be able to handle the expected volatility as AI matures. Think about it. We are just in the start of AI. Like we are just in the toddler phase of what this is going to be, maybe even the waddler phase, right? And systems just need this agility just to handle all this stuff. We need to ensure that the investment we make today is not wasted, and we have to, reinvest and rebuy in the next 3 or 4 years. And MediaZen is a great example of that, where they took an old traditional system, which was forcing them a very, very slow, AI metric time. And then by just unifying their data in a virtualized environment, the way Pure Storage platform does, it just immediately turned a year around into 2 weeks, if I heard right, Bish. Mm-hmm. That is just purely amazing. That's the power of unification when you think about those things. And it's not just there in AI. Like, I know we all love talking about AI. It's the big, bright, shiny object right now. But, there's still a ton of stuff that everybody worries about, like cyber. Like, every morning, a lot of people get up and worry about cyber, and they worry about protecting their data. And customers do a phenomenal job at doing this. And in fact, many customers are over-invested in the operational budget because of the amount of systems they have to support. There was recently an analyst report that showed that nearly over 80% of cyber spending is overcommitted on manual operations. And I can totally understand that, because I want to ensure everything's protected. I overspend on every single lock and alarm systems and sliding. I've got little alarm systems on Windows that I couldn't even fit through. Again, we over pivot on the security of our data and the security of the things that we love. And, we need to ensure that these systems can be able to support that, but take that wasted operational effort out. And it's the same when we think about cloud. Like, cloud is just the experience of cloud, and the usage of multi-destinations is just going to be more and more. I mean, it's becoming the norm. And again, having a seamless experience across all those environments is pivotal in having an operational efficient environment. And many of our organizations have now looked at that cloud model and have gone, that is what I need everywhere. I can't have my developers being incredibly productive when they're in their Azure and AWS and GCP environments or in a hosted environment. And then they come back on premises and they have to deal with an old archaic ticket system. They're not going to do that. They're too cool for that, right? They're just going to go, I'm going to go be in the cloud. And then that opens the doors for extra spending or maybe cybersecurity issues, especially if it's all shadowed. So as our organizations are now adopting a services first approach, and by 2030, about 80% of all IT is going to be a services first experience, as we move beyond virtualization to containerization and to app modernization, we crave a consistent experience across traditional modern applications, and legacy traditional storage cannot support all those needs. You need a platform that's built from the ground up. Many of the traditional storage vendors are starting today to build their platforms from the ground up. We started over 10 years ago. Gartner agrees with us. What do you think, Ish?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. And I think you hit the nail on the head there. And I'll go back to a comment that you made. These guys are still starting, the legacy vendors are starting to build from the ground up, and they are still stuck in the mindset of rebuys. It's a revolutionary platform. It's not an evolutionary platform that you rip and replace every 3 to 4 years, because the moment you do that, then you are not really delivering on the true needs of the business. And that's just something that Pure has set the standards for years right now. And we're just incredibly proud of not only the recognition that we have received, but in terms of how we are set up for the future as well.
Right, thank you both. So, what I'm hearing, just to summarize, everything's changing. AI is changing the game. Cyber continues to be a massive point of concern and an increasing point of concern. The complexity of our infrastructure and our environments is just continuing. And this, so many transitions, so many changes. And really, we need to find some stability within all of that, some stability that comes with agility and flexibility and future-proofing. And really, that is kind of what you guys have been talking about for the last hour. And it is a really, really interesting time in the storage industry, where we're seeing not only kind of these changing demands on the business, but we're seeing an energy and an interest and an aptitude from IT teams that are saying there has to be a better way to do this. And a unified platform is really the only approach. So thank you all so much. Dive in to take some questions from the audience members. All right, so let me see here. All right, so first up, we have a question from Roger B. And his question is, what challenges can we face when switching to a storage platform from our existing infrastructure? That's a really great question, Roger. How should we think about this transition, and how do we go about it? Michael, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, let's do that. I'd love to hear from Dean as well, because I think he's probably been at the front lines of this. But I think one of the challenges is this is almost an emotional decision, versus a technical decision. I can show you the reasons why the Pure Storage platform is the best platform to support both your traditional and modern future, to future-proof, provide you all the agility. But you need to have the confidence to make that decision. And so there is a set of, that's the big thing right now, in the sense that you've probably invested a good number of years yourself personally into understanding, updating, loving, tendering, healing, your current storage infrastructure. And so you're tied to it. It's very hard when you're tied to a system. We get used to dealing with the nitpicks. I have a super, super old F-150. Doesn't start when it's cold. Battery runs out, can't find the parasitic drain. It smells a little, makes me smell like a race car driver if I drive it too fast, right? And a ton of other issues, leaks oil everywhere, right? And I was tied to that environment. And it took that moment to say, hey, I need something new. I am sick to death of having to jumpstart this thing every morning when I have to go to work. I need a new modern infrastructure. I need to be able to jump into a new car and turn the key and just take it off. And so that was a big barrier for me to overcome, to be able to sort of go, hey, I need to give up on being comfortable with pain, to become like, I just used to tell my wife, my family, I just need 10 minutes to get the truck started. And they all looked at me like I was stupid. I was the one to realize that, hey, I was being stupid. Like I had to now invest in something modern. Now I have a brand new F-150 that's wonderful. And now I just don't look back. And this thing, supports me. But I think that's one of the big challenges, in the sense that I need to be confident in my decision to say, yes, I've invested in that platform for the last 20 years, but it's not the right one for me now. It's doing more damage than good. It's not going to be able to support my future. Hey, Dean, how do you think our customers should think about this transition?
So I'll veer just a little bit technical, Michael. So we think about migrating to a new storage platform. Some of the challenges that you run into are just integration points, right? Because a lot of modern infrastructures, you're dealing with automation, you're dealing with infrastructure as code. So it's going to take some time to understand like syntax and getting used to new APIs and things like that. Once you get past that though, and honestly, out of all the platforms I've worked with, Pure makes it extremely easy to do so. This is another example of when you can work with a partner on a data migration, where we can come in and help you understand application dependencies, infrastructure dependencies, and help streamline that process. But at the end of it, once you're on a modern platform, then you're going to wonder how you survived the last 10 years without the heated seats. So
there we go. Without your new truck. I can't follow Michael's truck talk, but thank you. Dean, I think that's a great point and really helpful to our customers. Okay, so we have time for one last question. I'm going to take a question from Simon, who says, we are getting a lot of pressure on sustainability. How does a unified platform, and specifically Pure, help with that? Bish, why don't we go to you?
Sure. That's actually a great question. It's something that is near and dear to our heart. And the way we look at sustainability is it's the right thing for our customer, it's the right thing for the business, and it's the right thing for the world that we live in. And one of the things that we as a company have been incredibly proud of is the innovation that we have driven. It starts with how we design our platform from the ground up to make sure that they are incredibly efficient when it comes to how much space they consume, how much power they consume, what the efficiency in terms of the performance in terms of the power consumption. And there is a lot of the innovation that we have said that is built into the platform. Is the core part of it translates into really denser storage systems. And a lot of that starts with our direct flash module. And we have the densest direct flash module already in the market with 150 terabytes and more denser to follow. Here are a lot of our other conversations. I won't commit on dates, but just, that's something that we are already the densest system in the market today. And that's something we will go in and continue to get better and better. But what that really means for our customers is you have a system which consumes way less power. And when you hear stories that, hey, I can't expand my data center because of like power limitation, or the example Michael was saying in terms of like, hey, we need a nuclear power plant, and like, hyperscalers getting into the business of partnership with small power plants to based on nuclear technology to supply the energy for them. What that really means is, as an infrastructure, the lesser energy you need for your storage, you can dedicate that towards other areas of your business. think having more GPUs, which can process more of your data faster, and you can get business outcomes significantly higher. And I think there is a lot more to unpack in there. There is also the wastage. I would really point people to our ESG report. It's an incredible resource, so please check it out. And if you want to ever talk more about the direct flash technology, you know where to find me on LinkedIn. I'm more than happy to answer any questions there.
Yes, that I can attest to. Bish can talk about this all day long, I promise. But yes, Simon, check out the ESG report. It will have all of the great details around all of the sustainability gains that you can get with the Pure Storage platform. Okay, so unfortunately, we need to wrap here. We have run out of time. If we did not get to your questions, don't worry, we will reach out to you after the webinar and provide you with all of the information that we have. So thank you all for joining today. Michael, Bish, Dean, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and your expertise on this really important transition that the storage market is going through today. And to all of you, thank you for joining today. It's been so great to really dive into, again, these transitions in the market, and also to really start to look at what organizations need to do and how they need to think about a unified storage platform to keep up with the changing demands of your business. So thank you all and have a great day.
All right. Well, thanks to Stephanie and the team for putting together that really informative presentation. I'll just leave these QR codes up here while we do our prize drawing, just to make sure everybody has time to grab those if they want to. Just a quick reminder that we've got handouts as well, with some resources that you can still grab here in these last few moments. But before we wrap up, we do have that one more piece of business. It's the Amazon gift card prize drawing. And the winner of that card today is Khalid Tariq from California. So congratulations to Khalid. We'll be in touch to get you your card. And with that, on behalf of the Actual Tech Media team, I want to thank Pure Storage for making this event possible. And thanks as always for attending and for your great questions. That's going to conclude today's event. Have a fantastic rest of your day.